What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Sitting Pretty. It's your girl, Lolo, and actually, welcome me back to Sitting Pretty. Y'all, I know it's been a long time since I've been here, but I am here and I'm back, and I know I owe y'all an explanation. All right, so let's just hop straight into it. Get your teacup ready because it's piping hot. Where the hell have I been? Why have I not been on YouTube for the past almost 10 years? And what's been going on with my life and what's been happening up until this point. I launched Sitting Pretty back in 2015. I launched the channel because at the time I was working a full-time job, and the boss that I had at that time was one of them kind of bosses. She basically threatened me one day to fire me. And I was like, oh no, ma'am, that's what you're not about to do, okay? And it really lit a fire up my ass, basically, to recognize that I needed to create something that was stable for my livelihood that nobody could take away from me. At that time, this job was the job that got me off of SSI. And for those who don't know what SSI is, long story short, it's basically financial government assistance for people with disabilities. And with me living in Los Angeles, that money was not enough. And granted, it's not enough anywhere, but that's a whole other story for another day. But at this time, I was like, I cannot live off of what SSI is giving me. So I decided on doing a YouTube channel because I have my degree in TV production. And at that time in 2015, people were just starting to really be able to make livings for themselves off of solely doing YouTube channels. So I was like, oh, let me get on this wave and let me try this. So that's why I started the channel. Okay, so I'm working a full-time job. On the weekends, I'm creating 3-4 videos at a time. My following is growing. It's a thing. But although everything was growing, I still wasn't making enough money to quit my job to do YouTube full time. So I'm still working my full-time job. The thing that I did not expect that was going to come from YouTube was all of the extra opportunities that being popular on the internet afforded me to be able to do. One day, I get a call from my agent. Shout out to Gail Williamson, legendary woman in the game. And Gail was like, hey, there's this indie film specifically looking for a young Black girl who's a wheelchair user. Would you want to audition? And so again, because I had gotten all these other random opportunities from doing YouTube, I was like, why not? Even though I've never acted before, I was like, sure, let me just try this next. I do the audition. I do well enough to end up meeting the director. The director likes me. Next thing you know, I'm cast to star in a film. Very long story short, when you truly lean into having faith and you are believing in God, when God wants you to accomplish something, He will move mountains. He will make the impossible possible, because there is absolutely no reason it should have been possible that I gave my job 2 weeks notice that I was leaving to Milwaukee for 3.5 weeks, then be able to actually leave to go shoot the film in Milwaukee and keep my job. So now I'm in Milwaukee, I'm working a full-time job, and I'm on set for the first time as an actor, and I have no time for YouTube. As much as I wanted to create content and record videos, the pressure to show up every day on set as an actor, then work a full-time job in between, like literally when I'm telling you, in between camera setups, I'm in holding, reading through work emails, taking calls on my lunch break, filming. Every day off that I have from filming, I spend it working on my job. There was no time for YouTube. I just couldn't do it. I come back and now I'm back in the office working full time again. But by this time, I'm exhausted. I just didn't even know what to create anymore because I couldn't talk about the film because the film hadn't come out. And all I was doing was working more and more hours at my job to make up all the time that I was gone, that I was like, I'm tired. So I just didn't create. But we stopped filming Give Me Liberty in March No, in April 2018. And by October, November of 2018, so only a few months later, I get a call that I have to go back to Milwaukee to do reshoots. We do reshoots, and a week or so later, the announcement comes out that Give Me Liberty is premiering at Sundance. Sundance!
This year there's a title there, Give Me Liberty, that I think looks really exciting. Kim, what can you say about that movie?
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of the next breakouts. It's a film just told with such, as I said before, authenticity. These are characters you don't normally get to see on screen. From scene to scene, you're not sure what's going to happen next. But at its core, there's a real humanity to this, and I think it's a beautiful film.
For those who are not familiar with Sundance, Sundance is one of the most elite film festivals in all of Hollywood. It is literally where stars are born, where major films get their footing and launch careers. You hear me? Because of Sundance. So now I'm looking at this acting thing like, oh, I might have stumbled on something kind of big time. Sundance is then in January of 2019. We premiere at Sundance, Cannes Film Festival. We have a theatrical release. We are doing press constantly, and I'm still working a full-time job. Then we get nominated for 4 Film Independent Spirit Awards, where one category I'm nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
The first time at the Spirit Awards, all 5 nominees in an acting category are women of color.
Happy reunion. Like, what? This is my first film. This is the first time I had ever acted in my life. It's February, towards the end of February 2020. Me, the cast and crew of Give Me Liberty are at the Film Independent Spirit Awards. We win the John Cassavetes Award.
The John Cassavetes Award goes to Give Me Liberty.
I don't win my award, but that's completely fine. Jesus, I got nominated. Hello. And after that, I'm getting speaking engagements, modeling engagements. Like, my career is just taking off in a completely different direction. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to take this acting thing seriously and want to get back to my YouTube after already having not posted almost like a year and a half, 2 years, I need to quit my job. And almost exactly 1 week later, the governor of California announces that we are shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Every speaking engagement that I had booked is now canceled. I just quit my job, and I have no idea how I'm going to pay rent. Full panic mode. Just confusion, regret, guilt. And I was like, God, I talked to you before I decided to quit my job. What are you doing? What is happening? So long story short, California does the ordinance where like nobody has to pay rent. So that was something I didn't have to worry about. So thank God, that was the blessing. And then now that I'm in the house, I'm like, okay, maybe I could bring my YouTube channel back. But what am I going to talk about? Because my whole YouTube channel was built on all like the cool things that I did as a person with a disability. I couldn't really talk about anything new. I had nothing to talk about on YouTube, so I just still didn't create content. But Instagram was really popping because of Instagram Live. So I was just building my audience more and more on Instagram because I was already building my audience because that was just easier content to just create, shoot out, post, and keep myself like relevant on the internet. And then I got into a COVID relationship. Ugh. That was the worst relationship of my life. And so my personal life was going to shit during COVID, but my professional life and everything that was happening on social media was starting to become more and more poppin'. I'm auditioning, and fast forward, I find out in the same day that I booked Sex Lives, booked my voiceover role as Jazzy in Disney Plus's Firebuds, and then shortly after that, I get accepted into Facebook's We the Culture program. Could not do nothing except be grateful and thank God, because it was like as soon as I cut off that relationship, the blessings came flooding in. You hear me? I had never expected for that to be what was going to happen. But again, when God wants you to accomplish something, He is going to make the impossible possible, and He's going to make it happen in your favor for you to be able to do it. So another year goes by, and I had just decided, you know what? I'm going to get back to YouTube when I can get back to YouTube, and it's just going to be what it is. So I put all of my focus on my Instagram channel, creating content, building up my career as an actress, and just letting life happen in that direction. This is happening with acting. That's happening with voiceovers. This is happening with speaking engagements. I wrote a book. I modeled again. Like, so many things were just happening that it was like, I just didn't have the bandwidth. And that basically leads us up to today, where now I am an actress. Many of you probably have met me through my role as Jocelyn on The Sex Lives of College Girls, or some of my other guest star spots as an actress. Some of you may know me mainly because of what I've promoted and showed on Instagram. Some of y'all have been ride or die A1 since day ones with Sitting Pretty, and you're still here. No matter how you have discovered me or learned about me, I am here to say thank you so much for being here. I appreciate those who have stuck around all of these years, and those who are new that are so excited to know what is happening next. And I am here to let you know that what has happened this year has been a complete revelation and rediscovery into who I am as Lauren Spencer. I'll share what happened and the revelation of that later on the channel, but that experience was essentially the launching point of this journey of self-discovery. I felt like I had started from the bottom all over again. My mental health was finally getting itself back on track. And ever since, I have been on this journey of self-discovery. Who am I? What do I want to do now? What am I really wanting to achieve? Moving forward, I realized is that in this business of entertainment, nothing is guaranteed. And I had found myself with that same feeling I did back in 2015 when I felt like my livelihood was threatened because someone wanted to take my job away. And so I had reflected back on when was the time that I was the happiest or the most creative or having the most fun. It was during my YouTube days back in 2015. So I said, you know what? It's time to come back. But this time I'm coming back for y'all to come with me on my journey of self-discovery. I have really allowed myself to explore more of my passions, the things that I love to do, want to do, that I was curious about doing. I was trying new things, and I'm still in that space of discovery, and I want y'all to come with me, okay? I've just always looked at the community that I built as my own personal friends, and I felt like that this is such a crucial and important time in my life. And I'm having that gut feeling again of like, something big is about to happen. And this time I'm not going to leave you guys behind, because it's important for me to, one, feel supported, but also I know what it has meant to so many other people to witness my growth and my maturity, because I know that representation matters. And that if I can show you that something is possible, then that means you know it's possible for you too. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you subscribe, you hit that bell so you don't miss out on the next video. I have so much more to share, and I can't wait to keep sharing and growing with y'all and holding each other's hands in the process. All right? I love you so much, and I appreciate you always. Until next time, it's Sitting Pretty, baby.